Hey man, it's Rue3 and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
I don't understand who you really are. You getting this money and you shining bright like a star. You stay away from alcohol.
All right, so we got my boy Rue3 jumping off the porch with us today.
Yeah.
Welcome, bruh.
Appreciate you, thank you.
Yeah,
It's
no
my
problem,
pleasure.
man. Nah, I appreciate you taking the time to pull up on us today too.
Yes, sir.
Man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling today, first off, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. You know, y'all humidity is better, worse than Kansas though.
Yeah,
so.
it's starting to get hot, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't like this a few weeks ago, but now it's like every day it's like, all right.
But look, man, I'm digging y'all downtown area though. I went to a couple strip clubs down here.
Okay.
I'm fucking with them too. You know what I mean? It's cool down here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Consider it, like, how could you even compare the strip clubs here to back at home in Kansas City, man?
I say there's more big booty women here on everything. I give y'all that, and there's more variety of women here. You know, a whole lot of women that got courage and self confidence.
For sure, man.
More than Kansas, but I feel like when people see the different environments, they come out their shell.
Yeah.
But people from Kansas just stay in Kansas.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Shoot.
They don't
But not you, huh?
Hell nah, not me. Hell nah. Shit.
You living this shit up, man.
Yeah, I got to, man. Though, man, this for my family.
For sure, man.
Yeah, I'm doing this for the family, man.
Yeah.
And I wanna, my music. I'm focusing on the women, and the money that I do accumulate because I feel like it's an achievement in my life.
Yeah, I always tell artists, man, if you get the women fan base, you set for life. Because they is like the most loyal fans that you gonna come across.
Hey, man.
They ain't gonna be hating on you. They gonna be the ones buying all the merch.
Yeah.
Front row at your shows and all that shit too, man.
Yeah, hopefully. You know what I mean? Shit, man.
Yeah. And you want to shout out your boy sitting up there with you?
Oh yeah, man. This is my man Els, man, from Emerald Dream Labs, KC, Missouri. Hell yeah. That's my producer, man.
Okay.
Shit, man. We taking this journey together.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
sir.
long y'all been locked in with each other, man?
Shit, for almost 4-5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For sure, man.
Yeah.
All right, so you from Kansas City, Kansas?
Yeah, Kansas City, Kansas.
Okay.
There's two Kansas cities.
I'm sure a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so can you break down Kansas City, Kansas? What be going on out there, man?
All right, Kansas City, Kansas is more like organized, like more police out there. There's a whole lot of police in Kansas, so everybody tend to veer away from Kansas, But there is like a whole lot of opportunity out there. But I feel like there's more opportunity out in big cities more than Kansas. That's why I'll be out, traveling a lot because I'll be looking for opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm opportunistic, so
Okay.
I gotta try.
Yeah. And is there a big difference between Kansas City, Kansas and Kansas City, Missouri?
Yeah.
What's some of the big differences between the two there, man?
You can smoke weed there on everything. But we legalized Missouri, Kansas is not. You get a ticket in that motherfucker. They pushed up on me and my stepmom and my brother something so vicious. I was like,
God
damn. On everything, they came like 4 cars deep. I said, what? Hell no, just for smoking. Just for smoking. I ain't with none of that.
No jail though, right? Just write you a ticket?
Yeah, they just write you a ticket.
Did they take the weed though?
Oh yeah, they take the weed. Yeah, they take the weed. They took hella weed.
Blow your whole high right there, man.
Blew the whole high. Thinking that you finna go to jail and some other shit over there, like damn. Yeah, man. But nah, they just gave us a ticket though. Yeah, they gave my brother a ticket.
Why you feel like the police be tripping like that in Kansas then, man?
Man, probably because, we the middle of the motherfucking, and we got Fort Leavenworth that's in Kansas. That's right there. In Leavenworth, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, and there's prison, there's a whole lot of prisons out there, federal prisons.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's Leavenworth County. Leavenworth County, they got the federal penitentiary.
Yeah.
Then they got Lansing County, they got the federal penitentiary. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Well, they making some money off that shit.
Yeah, bro. And the United States make money off of that shit.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You gotta learn how to dip and dodge from that shit, though. Fuck
Absolutely, man.
that. On everything, shit.
So, do you have any plans to move outside the city, then, man?
Yeah, man. I'm thinking about moving to. I was thinking about here, but then I heard that there's a whole lot of facades and shit that be going on. So I don't know. I'll be trying to look for, authenticity of things. So that's why I'm still traveling. I haven't found nowhere that I want to move yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's been some of the favorite places you have traveled to, though?
Shoot, Tampa. Shout out to Tampa, Florida.
Hey, man,
on
I've been in
everything.
Tampa for 20 plus years.
On everything, bro. Look, that's a vibe
hidden
down there.
gem right there, bro.
On what? On everything, bro. Mo people don't even know. Shoot, I went down to Hotel Bar. Hotel Bar was crazy, bro. On everything, ran into some, inspirational, gems down there. For real, man. Dude did roofing. Then he like, bro, I just closed a $1 million deal with roofing. I said, damn, bro, that shit crazy. He said, yeah, bro. You know what I mean? It only take 125 to start. I said, bro, yeah. Shoot. And then I tried to hit him up, and then he never answered. I'm like,
that man
damn.
enjoying that $1 million.
I'm like, damn, bro, I'm trying to fuck around, you know what I mean? Dibble dabble with you, shit, on everything. So, but that gave, I'll be traveling around to get, new business ideas so I can, take more business excursions, because that's all I'm doing.
Yeah. No, that's smart, man. Go pick up wisdom from different places, man.
Exactly, because a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from others. So, shouts out to my pops, Yeah. He taught me that. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Talk about the relationship with your pops, huh?
Man. I lost him this last November, man. Really pains me. He had a heart attack, and he was doing his daily routine with his job. He was taking an order to Emporia, Kansas. There's in between Emporia and Lawrence, Kansas, and he had a heart attack, and then he wrecked his car, and blood started rushing to his brain.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was pronounced brain dead. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I've been having a whole lot of death, happening around me this last. You know what I mean? It ain't even been a whole year, man. I lost my niece. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Duck, man. You know what I mean? Shit, man. Then I lost. She was a preemie baby, but my brother, it was his first kid, so it really hit hard for him. You know what I mean? But Then I lost my pops. That hit hard for my sisters and shit, and me, and my brother. You know what I mean? It be taxing them down every day. Like my sister posts my pops like 3 times a week, and it be hitting every time that she posted. You know what I mean? But I just try to solidify to where my people's is okay. Because everything went into a disarray when my pops died, because he was holding everything together.
Yeah.
But when it's like when people see the foundation break a little bit, they like, all right, let's break it all the way. Let's make it to where it works better for us. And I'm just like, I'm trying to make it better for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? While everybody's still thinking about self, I'm thinking about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could go either way. Like it could bring your family closer together.
Exactly.
You guys are all mourning and grieving through the same process together. Or it could tear everyone apart if he was like really the one, the glue, like holding this shit together too, man.
Exactly. And I'm just trying to be the glue,
Yeah.
But it's like Elmer's glue versus, Gorilla Glue, I'm just trying to, switch the formula up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And how has your healing process been, man, these last few months, huh?
Man, I've literally been just looking. I've been spending a lot of time in the studio.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Trying to make it to where I can make this help my family, But if, I ain't putting all my eggs in one basket though, so it is what it is, at the end of the day. But, I put all faith up to God. I believe in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am Muslim, So, yeah.
I got you. So let's go back to your childhood and your upbringing, man. Talk about what type of kid you were, some of your hobbies and all that too.
Man, sure, I was a hard-headed ass kid, but you know what I mean? That shaped me into being the man I am today, though, you know? Sure, I used to bounce back and forth from my mama and my pop's house. You know, when one get on my nerves, well, when I get in trouble over here, I sit in there and run over there like, all right, you know what I mean? I ain't messing with pops right now. Mom, can you come mess with me? But, you know, my mama fell off, so I couldn't do that no more. You know what I mean? I couldn't bounce back and forth. And then my pop saw how I was moving. He was like, shit, you grown. Shit, go be grown. And he did that when I was like 12 years old.
12 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, man, he like, shit, you gonna figure it out. So that's what I did.
What you mean you figured it out? Where were you staying at?
Shit, I was bouncing back and forth from different homes, like with my homeboy mamas and shit.
Okay.
Homeboy grandmas and shit. I used to pay my homeboy grandma $50 a week to stay there. And then I would fuck around, caught a case there, so I had to move.
Damn.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time that happened?
Shit, I was 14, and then stayed there for like a year. Yeah, paying her for like a year, $50 a week. And it was my homeboy, grandma. I was staying there, and then his cousin came over, unfamiliar, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, and he see that I'm a young dude that's getting some money, so he like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him.
Oh shit.
So that's what happened, and then he didn't know that I was gonna get him, so. That's what, you know what I mean? That's how I caught my first case.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get sent away for that, or was it just?
Oh man, yeah, man. Oh, it was some bullshit, bro. Yeah, but that taught me to, you know what I mean? Don't show everybody what the fuck you got going on. You know what I mean? Because then they gonna fuck around and try to capitalize on, you know what I mean, the situation. Mm-hmm. Like, he a little nigga with money. I could push him over. Mm-hmm. Just how it is. Hell no. I ain't try it at all.
Shit, man.
Yeah, bro.
So it sounds like you was off the porch at a young age then, huh?
Bro, young age as fuck, bro. But then when I got older, it taught me how to, you know what I mean, sit there and conduct myself in, you know, in environments and know what to do and what not to do, you know, with the, you know what I mean? Cause, boy, getting in trouble with the police is not it, bro. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't promote that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? Free everybody that ain't supposed to be in jail and everything. Free everybody.
Did you ever have to go sit down for a long time, or?
Mm-hmm. Not like very long, but they say county jail is harder times than prison. Mm-hmm. So I did a whole lot of hard time, yeah, but no prison time.
Okay.
Yeah.
By having to sit down, like, what did that teach you about, you know, just how to move?
That grown men are kids still. You know what I mean? And I had to figure out how I'm going to mature so that I don't be like them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? In a cycle of getting out, thinking you the shit, and then going back to jail, and then feeling like you not shit, and then getting back out, feeling like you the shit, and then going right back to jail, feeling like you not the shit. Hell no, that process is ass.
Real shit, man.
Real life, though. Real life. Cause then you lose things, and then you sit there and look back on it like, damn, I could sit there and say that I did this and did that, but the whole time you ain't got shit to show for nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then it's like, did you really do that? Did you really do that? And then motherfuckers looking at you like, nigga, you faking. The whole time. The whole time you just was going through a whole lot.
Yeah. Uh-huh. How long you been home now?
I've been home, for like a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm out on bond now. Be 100.
Mm-hmm. So you still got some shit pending then, huh?
Mm-hmm. Some bullshit, man. It's basically they trying to hit me with the guilty of association. You know what I mean? And I ain't with that, bro. I ain't with that at all. You know what I mean? But shit, taking necessary precautions. You know,
Understood,
for greatness.
Got to, man.
Yeah, man. That lighter. Yeah.
So did you finish school? Did you go to college or?
Nah, man. I did have scholarships at when I was a sophomore. Man, I had like 11 scholarships. You know what I mean? And then I had gotten that case when I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was a sophomore around like 15, 16. Yeah. Yeah. I was a sophomore. Had them scholarships. I used to go, it used to thing called a college and career center that I used to go to every day and sit there, do academic shit so that I can get right. Yeah. That's what I was on. And then when I caught them cases, that shit was bad on my name. That shit was real bad on my name. And, you know, caught another case when I was, 17 for some bullshit. Yeah, man. That fucked up my, you know what I mean, what I had going on with the scholarships too. When they keep seeing you get in trouble, they like, hell no.
Yeah, they go back out, yeah.
Yeah, the whole time it was, you know what I mean, I was being a product of my environment, you know what I mean? People don't even know that though. You know, they, just like a diamond, right? Oh no, just like this post that I saw, it was a famous violinist, right? A famous violinist, he was in the subway. He was playing in the subway right after the concert that just sold out for like $11 million. And he sitting there playing in the subway and nobody knows what he doing. You know what I mean? It's just different environments, dog. Different environments bring out different things in a person, dog. You know what I mean? So I just say better your environment so you can better yourself. You know, you do that and it's what it is.
No, real shit.
But
man.
first you got to change your mindset so that you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you say is like one of the biggest life lessons you learned so far in your life?
You are what you think you are. You know what I mean? You're not subjected to what somebody else think of you. You know what I mean? Because if you think that, if you sit there and care about what everybody think about you, then you gonna just be that. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna sit there and look at yourself like, oh damn, I'm like this, oh damn, I'm like that, and it ain't like that at all. You know what I mean? It ain't like that at all. It's just what somebody think of you. It's the opinionated statement of you. And you know what I mean? Nah, I ain't valid. You are who you are. Only God know who you is. You know what I mean? I believe in God for sure. If God can sit there and tell you that, you know what I mean, he can forgive you, and then somebody can sit there and tell you, I would never forgive you. Ah, damn, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Because God told me, you know what I mean, to forgive people. And if you can't even sit here and forgive, then why am I even around you? You know what I mean? I'm trying to build, you trying to break down. You know what I mean? That's with anybody. Anybody that be around me, if you not on, you know what I mean, coming up, I'm going away. You know what I mean? For real. And that's why I'm out here by myself with my producer. You don't see nobody around me. You know what I mean? I'm finna go on the radar in New York. I'm only gonna have my cousins around me. You know what I mean? My cousins and their friends. They gonna be around me on the porch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you just jumped into this rap shit like recently, right?
Yeah, man. I'm sitting here spending time, you know what I mean, and money to sit there and put me in the environments. Like I was saying, the environments that you in, you know what I mean, depends on if you're gonna blow or not. You know what I mean? If you're gonna sit there and succeed at what you're trying to do, you know? Some people don't wanna sit there and spend the money so that they can see their progress in what they're doing, right? Some people wanna be famous, but they can't even sit there and spend the money to be famous. The people wanna sit there and be rich, but can't even sit there and make the rational decisions that, you know what I mean, the rational decisions that, you know what I mean, these financial advisors is taking for these multimillionaires, because multimillionaires ain't doing it for real. It's really the financial advisors that's really doing it. You know what I mean? They just telling them, hey, do you want me to do this? Do you want to take this risk or not? And then they sit there and be like, sure, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Let's see where it goes. Mm-hmm. It's just like gambling, you know?
Yeah.
That's how they solidify that shit for real. And consistency. Staying consistent on what you're doing. If you stay consistent on what you're doing, you'll always succeed.
No, absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? For real. And, you know, stay motivated, because motivation for, you know, anybody is hard. But for the women, it's easy. The only thing they got to do is sit there and post a picture. Now they motivated. You know what I mean? For a man, you got to sit there. You got to sit there and get the validation from, you know, a woman, or, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you ain't got a community, you ain't got no validation. So you don't even believe in yourself the way that, you know, you're supposed to. You're supposed to believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself full-heartedly, that's just like believing in God, because God made you. God created you. You know what I mean? From the womb of your mother. You know, so if you sit there and believe in yourself all the way, and, you know what I mean, dedicate and stay persistent, I believe you're gonna be righteous. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
You know, and this is just me, you know, sitting right here and telling you exactly what it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Man. So what inspired you to start rapping? Was this some shit you had planned on doing, or some shit people
Man,
talked you
really,
into it? Or
yeah, I really don't rap, bro. I really do like the singing shit. Like when I freestyle and shit for real.
Okay.
I freestyle, kick shit with my brothers and my cousins, and, you know, L sometimes, but, you know, it takes an arm and a leg for him to rap with me, you know. He be over there like, boy, you just don't know. Hey, he smile at me. I ain't like this dude here. All right. But nah, man, I really do appreciate this man right here, man, for real. He done tapped me in with a whole lot of people that, you know what I mean, I need to be in, you know what I mean, in the face of, so that, you know, I can, you know, further take care of my family the best way I can, you know. And I just, you know, keep losing family members. Like my nephew, to jump back over there, I just lost my nephew because of poverty, dog. You know what I mean? His mama sat there and gave my nephew to her friend, knowing that, you know what I mean, her friend is on this substance, you know what I mean, real bad. And sat there, my nephew got into it, boom. Oh,
damn.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. my little man, EJ, man. R.I.P. EJ. I love you, man. He was only 3 years old. You know what I mean? He was only 3 years old.
That's
Love
wild,
my man, bro. And it's that, you know what I mean? This is what really motivates me, man, because if he wasn't in that environment, if he wasn't in that, she could have still, you know what I mean? Her being in that environment, it made, you know what I mean, her think that this girl's her friend. You know what I mean? Whole time she is her friend, but not a good one, you know? Because there's good and bad people that surround you. You are who you surround yourself around. So if it was a better environment, and, hey, can you watch my, you know what I mean? Can you watch my son while I go to the store real quick? You know what I mean? Boom. Wasn't even like that.
True.
Yeah, man.
So walk us through like your first studio session then, man. What was that like?
I came in there. I was like, he asked me, he said, bro, can I record you? I was like, yeah, bro, you can record me, bro. Yeah. I was ready. And then I got in there, and because I usually, you know what I mean, use like the band lab and shit on my phone to just get the lyrics and everything, so I know how I'm gonna, you know, attack the beat when I get to the studio. You know, most people don't do that. I encourage everybody to do that because you will save more money. You'll, you know, you won't waste as much time. Then you sitting there having the time to sit there and perfect what you can do with your, you know what I mean, with your voice, with your ad-libs, with, you know, the punch-ins and everything that you're doing, because that makes a masterpiece to me, I believe. You know, that's just me. But I do that, and then I go into the studio. My first studio session, I dropped 3 songs.
That's it?
Yeah, I made 3 songs. But I ain't dropped them yet. I'm just now dropping them because I'm listening to my producer. You know what I mean? I always take knowledge and apply it to my life, you know, because applied knowledge is power, you know? Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power, you know? And that's what I also learned from my phone, you know what I mean? A whole lot of stuff that I know is because I researched it, you know? People just don't know that they do have that shit at their fingertips. They just don't look it up. They just don't take out the time to, you know what I mean, sit there and see it for what it really is.
Yeah. So did you fall in love with it right away? Like after that first studio session, like, damn, this is what I should be doing. This is what I need to be doing.
Nah, man. I've been making music for, you know what I mean, over the years. And I always made music on like BandLab too. And then it was a point in time to where I was just listening to my music and I wasn't listening to nobody else's music. And then when I started doing that, I started getting the feedback from the people that was around me, like, bro, this is actually good, bro. This is actually fire, bro. You should, you know what I mean, do something with this. And then hearing it from multiple people, you know, that's around me, I took it serious, you know. I took it serious, and I'm taking it serious, and I'm gonna stay taking it serious, even, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna just stay consistent with it. I'm gonna just keep staying consistent with it, and I'm gonna keep staying consistent with it, because this is a revenue of money, but also, you know, gonna keep more revenues of money too, though, you know, because a rich man has like what, 5 incomes? Seven.
Yeah, they say most millionaires have 7 streams.
Yeah, 7 streams of income. So, yeah.
That's it.
Just trying to, but that takes time, focus, you know, and dedication, because it's easy to get distracted. There's a whole lot of distractions in this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
God even tells you that, real life. He said if you stay focused, and you know what I mean, and not be, because God made it used to be easy to get into, you know what I mean, heaven. It used to be real easy. But then when he saw that, you know what I mean, the devil sat there and tricked Adam, you know what I mean, his creation, he like, all right, we're gonna make it a little bit harder. You know what I mean? So we're gonna set out all these distractions. We're gonna do this and that. I'm not the best Muslim, but I'm a working Muslim, you know what I mean? Yeah, I still smoke, but I'm getting better at that, you know? I don't drink, I don't eat meat, I don't, you know what I mean? I you know, stay consistent in prayer, got to, it's mandatory. Gotta stay consistent in prayer, because he's gonna show you that you love him, he loves you more. You get the riches of this world and the hereafter, you know? Yeah.
No, that's real, man. So They Don't Understand. This is the first drop, right?
Yeah, it's the first drop.
Yeah. So talk about the inspiration for this song, man. What was you going through when you wrote this one and recorded this one, man?
Man, because most people don't be understanding who you really are. You know what I mean? You have to know who you are to succeed in anything. You know what I mean? If you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything, right? So you gotta believe in yourself, because you don't know who you are really. You figure it out over the way, especially when you're young like me, man. I'm only 22, so you figuring everything out on the way, and you applying it, and you applying it. So you don't understand who you really are. Because I don't understand who I really am. You know what I mean? Only God knows. God got me though, you know? You know what I mean? Because it's already written out. God already written that out. You know what I mean? It's whatever way that you go though, you know? It writes different. You know what I mean? He written it all out for you.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out though. You gotta make the decisions to sit there and make you who you are. You know what I mean?
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So this new music that's on the way, man. How's this shit sounding? What type of vibes you coming with, man?
I'm coming with, you know what I mean, groovy vibes, man. I got a song named Boomin'. You know what I mean? I got a whole lot of songs. I'm gonna just, you know, schedule it right.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I got the song named Boomin', dog. Yeah, I'm gonna go hard, cause we booming. You know what I mean? I'm trying to boom. So you know what I mean? We booming. Yeah, we booming over here.
Yeah, and I see you've been shooting some videos here in Atlanta, man. Which songs have you been shooting?
I've been shooting. I'm shooting 3 songs. I'm shooting the They Don't Understand. I'm shooting Boomin', and I'm shooting Buy-In.
Okay.
Yeah, in Atlanta. And then when I go down to New York, I'm gonna sit there, do the same thing there. You know, and then trying to find another. Do you know any big, like, any other, you know, like big platforms other than on the radar, like anywhere, you know, United States area?
Yeah. I can plug you in with someone when we get done, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Sure, man.
Yeah, we can edit that out though. You know what I mean? But yeah, my fault.
No,
yeah,
good.
bro. Yeah.
So talk to us about the music scene in Kansas City, man. There a lot of artists out there coming up, or?
That's more of a question for this man, sure. Honestly, so what it's looking like out there, man? So, it's cool. It's cool. You know what I mean? I be staying to myself.
I dig it.
You know, so I really don't know. But yeah, man, yeah.
Is there any artists you want to work with in the future, or?
Sure, man. I'm motivated by, you know, I saw Young Thug, bro. I see how he go through a whole lot, you know. Young Thug go through a whole lot. That dude was sitting down for some time. Whole lot of adversities he go through, you know what I mean, just trying to build up his, you know, his community. You know what I mean? Most people don't see it like that, but that's what it is. This man sitting there building up his community, you know, and I'm all for it. I'm all for, you know, him building up his community. And, you know, but he going through it with his family right now, so I'm like, shit, man. Keep right. I try to stay up on him. And then, J. Cole? J. Cole's always gonna be a factor, man. J. Cole gonna always be a factor because he speak about real shit. He speak about a whole lot of that's real. And I wanna make music like that, and I'm going to make music like that because if you can sit there and tap into something that's real, it never dies, you know? Because it's always gonna live. They gonna always feel it because it's always gonna happen. It's a system, right? It's a system. So if you sit there and speak about what's going on in the system, it's always gonna stay. There's always gonna be poverty. If they switch it, then it won't stay. You know? You speak about what's happening in poverty, you know what I mean? You speak about what's happening in, you know what I mean, on a day-to-day through your life, you know, what you seeing through, you know what I mean? Not what you want people to perceive you as, what you literally seeing, what you are embodying, you know? That's what it is, you know? You speak about what you're embodying.
Yeah, because that's the shit people can relate to anyway, man. That's the shit they want to hear, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot, like, bro, I grew up in the streets, dog, so, you know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and speak about that shit, you know? Because it was a pain in my life. You know what I mean? Heck no. I speak about, you know, certain pains in my life, but not that shit, because that shit was like the darkest of it, you know? So, nah. And people just be trying to exploit that shit, and I ain't for it, you know? I ain't for none of that.
Yeah.
Because now you're promoting it, you know? By you speaking about it, you're promoting it. You're speaking about how you sliding and killing and drilling people. It ain't cool. You talking about how you sitting there selling, you know what I mean, and shit, fucking up somebody's mama, fucking up somebody's auntie, you know what I mean? Not sitting there trying to help them out, not trying to, you know what I mean, sit there and better them, sit there and help them out, you know? That shit fucks with me in my mind because, you know, it fucked up my life, you know? Drugs fucked up my life, you know, since you know what I mean, kid, so that shit fucks with me, you know? Don't promote something that sitting there and is fucking with you in your life probably, you know? So don't do that because you promoting it while you speaking about it. But most people don't even know that.
Yeah, especially when the kids hear, because they so influenced by everything
The
that
kids
they
is
hear.
bro, there's more kids than there is adults. Yeah.
Yeah, so looking ahead, what some goals you got set for yourself in your music career then, man? Like, where are you trying to take this shit?
Man, bro, I want my voice to be heard for who I am, you know? God always sit there and say, you know, be a voice for me. Basically be an embodiment for me. So I gotta sit there and put y'all on a journey with me figuring out myself, you know? Sit there, speak about the shit that I go through, you know, the good and the bad. Let y'all ride my roller coaster, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm on. And then, cause everybody gonna feel it, you know?
Nah, I dig it, man. Go ahead and plug your social media so everyone know where to tap in with you.
Rue3 Music. Rue3 on any platform. Rue3. RUE3. Any platform.
And what's the meaning behind Rue3?
It's my middle name.
Okay.
My father named me after him, and he was named after his father. And my middle name is. My mother calls me LaRue. You know, so I just took the love, LaRue, Rue, and then I'm the third.
Okay.
Just put the third, Rue3. That's who I am. Yeah.
Well, that's all right there, man. Yeah. All right, you got any shout outs you want to give before we get you out of here, bro?
Shouts out to all my peoples, man, back home. You know, shit, man. Shit, Kiasha, Lamia, Malia, you know what I mean, my auntie, you know what I mean, Keisha, my auntie. Look, I could name them all. Janelle, my auntie, shit. My auntie Christy, even though she be, you know, getting on my nerves. My cousin Manny Papes, he make music too, but he be acting, you know, his kind. I still love him though. Shit, man. My brother Evel, my brother Eli, you know, free him, free Eli. That was his son that died. Lil EJ, RP EJ. My brother Duck, his real name Ivan. Shoutouts to you, my man. You know what I mean? He a great football player. He set all the records in Sligo High School. You know, shouts out to him. That was his daughter that passed. You know, shouts out, you know, RP Laylanda. Then I got a little brother named Zafir. I got my sister. My little sister. Oh, shouts out to my older sister, Asia. Shouts out to Oriah. You know, even though y'all act that kind, I love y'all. And Rhonda, I love you too. Then, Denisian, shout out to my brother Dante. Shout out to, you know, Asia, Zaina, Zafir. Shout out to, you know, you help me. You keep my mind straight. You keep, you know what I mean? You keep me straight, you know what I mean? I appreciate you. And my stepmama Cassie, you know what I mean? These is my stepmoms, you know what I mean? That's my stepmom. Cassie, she helps me keep my head on straight too. It's like, you know what I mean? My pops made that network, you know what I mean? And I shout out to Ebony, because you also help out too, you know what I mean? Just call me. Shout out to all my peoples, man. For real, for real. Shout out to all my peoples.
All right, man.
I'm doing it for y'all. For real.
Sure.
And I'm gonna stay doing it.
I appreciate you stopping by, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.